You are listening to the Digital Shelf Insider podcast of MetricsCart, where we tackle the newest trends, strategies, and pain points shaping growth across the digital shelf. Join our host and e commerce leaders across multiple industries for in depth discussions on how to maximize your brand in the digital arena. Hey everyone, it's Shrestha and welcome back to the Digital Shelf Insider podcast of MetricsCart. Today, we are thrilled to have Irina Zagradskaya join us. With more than a decade of experience, she is the e-commerce team lead at Accel Club. She's developed viability assessment frameworks for new product launches across online marketplaces. What truly stands out is her cross-functional collaborator mindset when it comes to e-commerce. So let's dive in and please join me in welcoming Irina to our podcast.
Hi, Shrestha. Hi, everyone. I'm really excited to join today's discussion. And thanks for the introduction. I hope that you will enjoy and bring some insights from this. I have been in the commerce field since 2012, and I started as a full cycle product manager. So I definitely know how to create products from scratch. My first marketplace, you never believe, was eBay in Europe and the UK. But after I experienced a setback because I lost top seller status on eBay, I realized that I needed a broader and more resilient approach across multiple platforms. And that's how I started from Amazon. Now, I would say that my experience spans around 250 different niches, 20 product categories, and I'm still learning, and I'm still studying Amazon algorithms and everything, how it works. 7 regions, and it's not only about Amazon, it's all about marketplaces. It's about playing on e-commerce field, including Walmart, Chewy, and all other opportunity that market can bring you. My team at Accel Club works deeply on risk mitigation projects. That's about 80% of our work is resolving critical issues and planning proactive steps in order to prevent this. So we are building a very great framework to help our business be more sustainable and more long term. I would say that we also doing a lot of post acquisition cleanups, um, building big marketplace infrastructure from the ground up. And that's how we work. So we ensure stability and compliance across platforms.
Wow, that's impressive. It sounds like you've really pinpointed some powerful strategies for growth in e commerce. So, Irina, you work with compliance and risk management in your day to day role. So, how would you describe the main differences between the US and European markets in this area?
Yeah, that's a good question. In short, it is a different level of enforcement of different regulations. USA, it's more about reactive approach, while Europe, it is more about proactive. That's why when you want to start your business and when you want to start USA business, it is much more easier and much more faster. You can, like, in 2 weeks, you can create account, you can verify it, and you can start selling, and that's it. But for Europe, you have to work and you have to prepare. You have to prepare with your legal entity, you have to prepare with your VATs, you have to have responsible person, and separately in UK, because right now UK is not part of Europe, but it is one of the largest marketplaces. still, I would say UK and Germany. Yeah, that's something that is the most largest where you can sell. So, and then when it comes to different product categories, you also need to be sure what regulations apply to your consumer goods. For example, for all consumer goods, you have to be prepared with general product requirements safety. You know that right now Amazon announced that the deadline for this 13th of December, when all the sellers have to show their compliance with this regulation. And but that's not the end, you know. It's also about V numbers if you are selling electronics, and you need to around 6 till 8 weeks to get these V numbers with German authorities, for example, or you need also some year extended responsibility numbers for some of the products. And I would say that verifications in the Europe is much more strictly. Each year, we also have this QAC verifications with Amazon, when Amazon is checking our documents, and it can last around several months because it is very long, and it can also impact your USA account if you have at the same time. There is like a lot of regulations, you know, also determination of establishment. It's would be about that. Also DAC7. Um, so a lot of them. That's why I believe that 70% of the sellers, they start their business in the USA and they never come to Europe, despite Europe is a very fast growing marketplace right now, in terms of Amazon. And Amazon also is investing a lot to grow their locations. And on top of that, I would say that it comes all these regulations about local languages and local standards that can apply differently across all regions. Um, you not only need to have claims or different translations for inserts, you also need to know different regulations for France, Germany, and so on. It can be different for different supplements, product categories, each relevant. So you see, there is like a lot of stuff you need to know when you want to start your business. If you don't know about that, um, you can bring your inventory, and that's the most often and frequent mistakes that the sellers are doing. They don't prepare with that, and they bring inventory to Amazon. They become stranded, and they realize that they need VATs because they store goods in Europe, and they need that. And they stuck for half of year until they receive this, especially when it comes to using um, foreign legal entities that are outside Europe, that are outside UK. Yeah, a lot of problems and a lot of fees can be here.
Right. That's very interesting. So, this is something Irina and I have discussed in the past conversations where we spoke about how different it is for sellers when it comes to Amazon versus Walmart. Now, this is a battle that's been ongoing for a long, long while, but something that we need to understand here is the fact that uh, Walmart started off as a physical store and then moved to online, while Amazon started online selling books and then moved to physical retail. So both has a different business model, yet there's something that we need to understand. It'll be very valuable for our audience as well. Arena, so where do sellers generally find it easier to, set up and maintain compliance when it comes to Amazon versus Walmart?
Yes, Rashta, that's something that we discussed previous time, and I would put some numbers here just to compare this difference between Walmart and Amazon. If to take online presence, of course, Amazon is doing an incredible job here because it's around 2.5 billion unique visitors daily on their marketplace, and that's about 50% of e-commerce sales there by Amazon. And versus we take Walmart's online presence, it's about 429 million unique visitors. So you see this discrepancy is huge here. And at the same time, physical locations, that's about 5,000 of pickup locations for Walmart versus Amazon 200 warehouses. So you see that's a very different business models. And I would say that to answer your question, what is a easier one? It depends on who you are. If you're a retailer, if you have a brand presence, if you have a local store, your products already prepared with all these retail standards, it is much more easier to get to Amazon. And that's a starting journey for most of sellers. And but if you have this brand presence, Walmart can accept you if you show them your experience. And sometimes, it is even a trick. You have Amazon presence. You show that you have this Amazon presence during verifications with Walmart. And Walmart will evaluate you as a professional seller. And that's a different approach by these different marketplaces. uh, we had this experience with Walmart, and we were registering marketplaces online to build our online presence for our brands through different channels. And at some point, I was even stuck with Walmart to show and to pitch them our brands and our customer support excellence, and that we are professional sellers. But of course, if you see, there are a lot of Chinese sellers that came to Walmart as well, and this is changing uh, constantly. And from my side, and from my experience, that's like equation when you try to get more niches here and to get more audience. And for me, for example, if you take Amazon online presence, you have there. But for Walmart, you have a physical presence, and you get to the shelf. And if to try to get to the shelf, it is much more difficult. It is, first of all, in terms of time, it is like not a 1 year cycle when you have to prepare. Walmart plans shelves in advance. It's like in a year. And also there are some compliance standards, and you have to pass not only um, product compliance, but you have to pass as a company some standards in terms of your processes, and your manufacturer. They should also admit these processes in terms of how well you're with your personal, how products are produced, if they are certified, the processes. So a lot of stuff here. So basically, it depends on who you are and what is your starting point. That's crucial here.
Um, you've been part of this industry for more than a decade, Irina. And this is something I ask almost all of my guests. The pace of which e-commerce evolves is very interesting and super freaking speedy, right? And we're always learning, evolving, and jumping into trends and jumping out of trends. So how do you keep up on these updates, changes, and reinforce the same to your clients?
Would say that right now it is a part of my lifestyle, and I usually try to structure this chaotic to some processes. And that's what we are doing with my team as well. We are always prioritizing and we are asking why we are doing what we want to do. So, but we have some foundation and we have some background, and we built this together. So, when you have this fundamental thing, it is easy then to adjust and to navigate on what's going on the market. Usually, we say in our company that build your helicopter view and look from helicopter view on the stuff you are doing operational, and you will see how to adapt this. So, what I suggest to do first of all, it's all about how what data to collect and what look at. Yeah, so you have to build. This environment, this space, different resources that are important and that have most critical information about this industry. And when it comes to my mind, yeah, first of all, I would suggest to review, for example, Amazon News widget or Walmart news policies or TikTok. Usually, all marketplaces they have this news announcements that are usually in advance. And then you also build some trustful resources can look at and that you can check on a monthly basis is okay. When it comes to operational efficiency, I would say that it is important to put some algorithms into your procedures. So whenever you're experimenting on something, you are putting in it into procedures, and then that's how you are building your processes. So ad hocs, when you are doing a lot of ad hocs, and I know that a lot of sellers, and I'm talking with our previous owners, they were stuck with the business because when you are not looking at what happening around this industry, what happening around, it is easily just stuck with these ad hoc issues, fixing the stuff, looking at these closed, deleted listings, and so where there are different requirements and regulations suddenly are happening. But nothing happens suddenly, believe me or not. As an example, you know this general product safety requirements that right now with a deadline of 13th of December in Europe, Amazon announced this in around January or February 2024. So Amazon announced this, that they're going to start this, and you have enough time. But a lot of sellers are keeping this till the end, but that's enough. And what is more interesting that basically general product safety requirements was published at May 2023. So it came around a year uh, to make something for Amazon that they are looking at this. So you see, between marketplace enforcement and between regulatory, there is still a gap. And if you catch that, you can do not in a rush, not in as an ad hoc, but you can plan and save your time. So I believe that when you build this enough resources, when you build this environment that helps you to get this information, when you build your team to look at this information, um, uh, as a part of their job to put some insights into priorities, then it will help you, and it will help to sustain, not be in rush, and you will be well prepared. And it means that you will have much more time to focus on really ad hoc issues that can happen.
I completely agree with Arina on this. So, the fastest way to stay updated is by going to the respective marketplace's site and reading the news. What are the updates? What processes change? Like, that's the way to do it and go about it. I am on this with you. So I'll tell you a little bit of what we do at MetricsCart. We help monitor the digital shelf and the base level metrics, as well as the nice to have metrics, such as it depends. It varies for brands to brands, but it's mostly around share of search, content compliance, ratings and reviews, map, a very critical part which brands miss out on, and assortment and availability. So yeah, that's pretty much about us. And so we feel that customer reviews is a gold mine of insights for brands, and it is the closest a brand can get to their customer, listen to them, and make those upgrades and changes to their products so that it is what exactly the customer wants, right? So we not only help them monitor reviews, but we also help them analyze them based on the themes and sub themes of the from the reviews. And given this context, do you think brands and sellers need to keep track of customer reviews?
Yeah, for sure. Customer reviews, that's very important indicator. And because it directly impacts on your product visibility, how it looks through different competitors. It is something that could differentiate your when you have a lot of good reviews. So that's for sure a way to success. At the same time, if you look at these reviews, you can use it as a resource for your next development, products, new variations, new launches. And at the same time, it works when you look at your competitors' reviews as well. Um, I believe that you should look at these reviews, and also sometimes you can understand that some reviews can make even block your listings, and it could be competitor attack, or it could be something like very serious and dangerous to safety of the customer. And when it happens, and when this kind of reviews can appear, Amazon usually takes the listings totally down until you will investigate the issue and provide plan of action. I believe that when everyone is looking for its customer reviews and build flow around this, the seller definitely will succeed from these approaches and these processes, from this information, if you can put this into action. Yeah, that's for sure something, not only monitoring, but also working on that a lot. And what is interesting, Amazon is always saying about this customer approach on their own. And you know that I'm visiting Amazon Accelerate second year for the second year, and I noted that they are doing this event also to collect these customer reviews, but from the seller's point of view. And usually, all the events and all these new features that Amazon presents they are starting with like words. Okay, we heard you and we implemented this or that, and that's how they are working. And of course, this is like a big digital platform, and they usually have these routines, and they have these processes to set up and build new features, and they are always prioritizing that, and they are prioritizing on these customer reviews. And I would say that they are also prioritizing that by receiving feedbacks from the sellers. And you can, in the case, if you are satisfied or not satisfied, better to use these buttons and provide these feedbacks, because Amazon usually looks at the data overall and combines something successful. So if Amazon is doing that, and it's better for the sellers to do the same way within their own products, to improve quality, to look at these conversions, to understand if there is something suspicious or dangerous, to take action, to understand what's going on. So better to use this indicator. That's something first to do.
Thank you for sharing your views on that, Irina. That was really insightful. So maybe in like another 2 weeks, we are heading to 2025, and there's a lot of planning happening at the seller and brand manufacturer level. And it's basically the goal setting type, and most of them might have already finished it. So, what would be your piece of advice or an interesting nugget of information that you want them to keep in mind while they do the goal setting and, to keep it realistic?
It is hard to give universal advice since each company is at a different stage. But what I would recommend for all sellers is to know your unique value points and build your strategy around that. It's better to understand your starting point. And I would say that I'm personally, and while we were building the startup, um, it is always about a lot of opportunities around, a lot of tools you can use. You can expand to Europe, you can go to Walmart. And that's how we started business, actually. We started with, okay, we will do not only Amazon, we will expand to um United Arabian Emirates, we will do vendor account, we will do Walmart, and we will do everything at the same time. But it is impossible to focus on that. And on top of that, we also wanted to get to the shelf, but want to put everything in the right order, in the right chronology. At those time, yeah, 3 years ago, uh, at Accel Club, we realized that, okay, we are not compliant with the package. We should invest in this part because it will be important at all stages where we wanted to get to shelf and do something else. And it works all the way around. You need to focus on your organic stuff right now. You need to understand where you are, what the level you are, and then you understand what is the next step. And the next step is usually something that it's not about tactics. A lot of operational stuff, and myself, I usually, when I'm doing this ad hocs, it is very difficult to get this helicopter view. But the team that you have, you usually have to have someone who has this helicopter view and who can give you this strategy in terms of your company, who understands who is out of this routine workflow. And that's, I believe, the most important start. Uh, that's something I would suggest the team.
So we've come to the end of our session, Irina. It was an absolute joy having you on this podcast for this conversation with me, and totally loved what you shared. And I'm sure our audience would find this super insightful too. So if they want to find you, where can they find you?
Thank you, Shvesta. I really enjoyed today's discussion. Hopefully, our audience also will like it. You can always find me at my LinkedIn profile. I usually post something about industry there as well. And I hope that it will be interesting for you. So you can direct message me. Thank you. Bye.
Now that's the end of our episode. If you love what you just listened to, you should check us out on LinkedIn. We have our newsletter series there. We also have our newsletter series via email with super exclusive e-commerce insights. This podcast is also on Spotify and Apple. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe here on YouTube. Wherever you're listening from, you have a great day, and we'll be right back with an awesome guest next week.